I'm going to talk today about the holistic challenge of this like rebuilding this monetization stack, and I think all of you are experiencing that. Scott says something that stood out to me. He said there's right now AI is driving a Cambrian explosion in value, which is then leading to a Cambrian explosion in commercialization. What an absolute bar, right? That was great. But I think then that explosion in commercialization is leading people to as we talked, as Scott also mentioned at the top of his keynote, leading us toward more and more usage-based models, right? That might be pure usage-based, or increasingly more of like a hybrid situation where you're on the surface selling a subscription, but underneath having some type of usage entitlement component. Now, I think a lot of the conversation around that at first in organizations can be fairly reductionist, right? Like, hey, we have all of our usage, we just need to put some dollars next to it, and we're good to go, right? I can tell you as a product leader, I can, many number of times I've gone to engineering and say, hey, why can't we just build that, right? It should be pretty easy. But the truth is that it's far more complicated and far more holistic in your organization. As proof of that, I want to actually bring you all into this. So quick show of hands, how many people here are from like a product role, product organization? Yep. How about engineering, finance, and like operations or go-to-market? Yeah, so I mean, look at that. That's pretty amazing. Like within this group, it can show you how like multidisciplinary this challenge is, and all of you are looking at different challenges. I'm sure, right? There's different things that you're considering, and so I want to talk through that. I'm going to go through some of the obvious requirements that you all might know just inherently, and some of the less obvious requirements that if you're going into this journey, you might want to start planning for and being aware of. So first, let's go into the obvious requirements. Again, I'm going to try to move fairly fast here to get us back on track. First one is that in order to do your packaging and pricing, guess what? You have to have your pricing model, right? This is the value that you're getting from Monetize 2025. If you want to price and package, you need a pricing model. The key here, though, is that you have to be able to iterate on that very quickly. This is something that Scott mentioned. The pricing model that you start with is not going to be what you end with, so you have to have a system that allows you to iterate very quickly. So whether it's your engineering team, your product team, your sales team, you need to be able to prepare for that rapid speed of iteration. The next one is that you have to treat this like infrastructure. So you have to be able to meter at scale, and that scale has to be significantly higher than what you might think. We have people in the audience now that represent like the vanguards of this space, where just the absolute insane acceleration of growth in AI has led to a need to start building this infrastructure 10, 100,000 times X than what they thought they need. We're going to have a session on this later around how you engineer around the monetization model and make sure that you stay ahead of the growth. Point, though, is that you don't want your monetization system to be holding you back. You can't be kind of doing this like just-in-time scaling. You have to make sure that you're preparing way far in advance to make sure that your actual monetization system is not keeping you from building your revenue. Final obvious requirement is that it has to work within your overall stack. So you have the top end, you have your sales teams and CPQ, bottom end, you have your finance teams, the ERP. These are all like best of breed solutions. You have like a lot of depth of expertise there. So whatever monetization operating system you're building has to make sure that it integrates into and orchestrates very effectively those tools. So your FinOps leader, your RevOps leader, your product teams have to make sure that you're building that system in a way that helps make that orchestration possible. Let's talk, though, about the less obvious requirements. What are some of the complexities that teams run into that maybe they didn't expect along the journey, but through their experience we can learn from them? First one is more of like a macro point. I talked about you have to be able to set that pricing model, be able to iterate very quickly. Actually, at a macro level, we're seeing that AI is opening up the opportunity to change the way you sell, like the way you go to market. So increasingly, we're seeing like traditionally product-led businesses or AI companies that are starting as product-led, very quickly finding product market fit in enterprise and realizing actually I need to transition my customers from a product-led motion into a more complex sales-led motion. Likewise, I think what's more interesting is more traditionally sales-led businesses, as they're coming out with AI capabilities, find that they can start offering PLG-like experiences. right? You're moving into more of a credit model. You can start exposing that to your end customers, allowing them to opt into like buying more credits. It's creating this pretty interesting scenario. I think Sam's going to talk a little bit about that, like variability in later in the day. But your system has to be able to support that kind of like duality, right? Ability to fluidly move from these different routes to market or overall pricing mechanisms. Next one, I don't think fraud is any. I don't think anyone's like, what, fraud? I didn't know that. I do think though that the cost of AI and the speed of AI makes fraud detection all the more important, right? We have companies in here that can attest to this. Even seconds, minutes of an entitlement system not kicking in can lead to millions of dollars worth of damages. So you have to make sure that whatever you're building is responding at the latency that you need from an entitlement perspective, right? So for your organization, that might be seconds, that might be minutes, that might be hours, but just knowing that this is a significant risk and your monetization system has to accommodate for that is key. As a product leader, the next one here really speaks to me. It's about, Scott mentioned this, like as you're getting into consumption-based pricing, customers are looking for predictability, control in their spend. I was talking to a customer recently that was conveying a conversation they're having with one of their end customers where they're thinking about making a move to usage-based pricing, and the customer was hesitant about it because they were worried that it was going to turn the vendor from a partner into a predator. Right, that you'll just allow me to shoot myself in the foot and spend $2 million just over the course of a night because why not? That's something that would actually benefit you as a business. But the truth is that you want to build that trust, right? And Scott talked a lot about this, so I won't repeat too much of it. But you have to build predictability, you have to build visibility, you have to build control into your solution. So you have to take your billing experience and bring it into your product experience, which I think is a very new construct. Right now, I don't really think too much about like my Netflix bill, right? It's $20 a month. I don't need to see that in my Netflix experience, but I think if I was getting charged per episode of Love Is Blind, I would definitely want to know that. Not that I watched that, of course. Loved last season. Final one here is as you're transitioning to this consumption-based business, the way you operate has to totally change. I'll speak from experience as a product leader. I think I can be vulnerable in front of my 110 closest friends. As a product leader, I think historically I was far less attached to revenue than I might like to admit back 10 years ago. Of course, there's features that I would ship that maybe would unblock a deal, would open up a market, maybe help with a renewal. But in a usage-based business, what I'm shipping is actually far more directly tied to the growth of the business itself, to the growth of revenue. So I need to actually more deeply understand not just usage of what I'm shipping, but also how that's then tying into revenue growth. What things are being overutilized, are using to like higher credit consumption? What are things that are being underutilized? What does that mean in terms of the value that we're delivering? The way I think about my product releases totally changes. Likewise, in a go-to-market organization, your pre-sales team might be looking for upsell opportunities, which means they're looking for how is someone doing, are they overspending on their commit? Should we go to them and say, hey, actually let's talk about getting you to a higher credit commit level? Your customer success team might be really worried about people that are underspending relative to their commit. Right? If I have $1 million commit, I'm 50% through my my contract and I've used $100,000. Your customer success team will need to go to them, right? Like, hey, can we help? What's going on here? Can we help help you get more value out of the platform, or do we need to actually decrease your spend level with us? Because at the end of the day, if I have $1 million commit, I spend $100,000. Why would you let me spend $900K more than I should have, right? Like that can lead to a churn risk. So the data needs for these different organizations are completely different, right? They're changing all the time. So put that all together. You have to build for scale. You have to have these data flows. You have to be your entitlement system for fraud. You have to make sure that you're creating your pricing and packaging able to have this like dual world between product-led growth and sales-led growth. All of these things are necessary. And the challenge is that you can't really wait on any of them. Right? You can't deprioritize the scaling ability of your monetization system in order to deliver end customer experiences. These are all hard requirements. None of them are nice to have. So how do you find success here? Like how do you actually navigate through this? You'll hear this many, many times, but it takes centralizing focus on this. You have to have that chief value officer type of role, which Scott talked about and we'll talk about more, bringing together these multidisciplinary people to say, all right, I understand all these different use cases. We need to build toward them, right? You have to build that system that can allow you to get your data out, present to your end customers in the way they need, and ultimately grow your business. The key, though, is to move fast. Right? Scott said this, you'll hear this many more times. Ultimately, being able to iterate, get this out, improve the way you're operating is the key to building a successful business.